What's up, everybody? It's Vape Saint.
And Carla.
Well, she's not the girlfriend anymore.
I'm not?
You better be.
I better be.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go over a few things tonight. First things first. Tomorrow's the day we're giving away our first starter kit. And we thought we'd just show off what we're giving away in detail. I've got a couple of pictures on the side of it, but we haven't really explained it too much. First off, we have a nice little Ego case. Nothing special there. But anyway, we've got a whole setup. We got the USB charger. We have a 900 milliamp Ego style battery. These are all black. And then we have an EVOD tank, the original EVOD, single coil, non-replaceable drip tip, and all that. From what we've learned so far, this should be a great starter kit for someone. You won't have any problems with leaking and so forth, and cheap tanks and all that good stuff.
And we think this would be a great starter kit because we didn't have anybody to show us what would be a good thing to start with, and we learned from our mistakes, and we're here to try to help you learn. That way you don't start off buying things that aren't going to work well for you. My first starter kit that I purchased was from e-cig.com. That's C-U-E-C-I-G.com. Mine came in a carrying case as well, a bit bigger than the one we're giving away. Has nice pockets inside. It came with two 900 Ego batteries. I chose green. And it also came with the USB charger.
Came with the wall plug too, right?
And the wall plug, which is very useful at times. My starter kit came with the CE4 tanks. I didn't really know anything at the time, and that was what came with the starter kit. They seemed great at first, so I bought a whole bunch, like 10, so that I could put a different flavor in each one. Within a couple weeks, I mean, of using, you know, this one for a little bit and that one for a little bit, within a couple weeks, pretty much all of them leaked. They gurgled. If I put it in my purse or my pocket, it would leak. There was juice coming out. I really wasn't happy. I knew there had to be something better out there. A little bit of research, and we found something better. And that would be the EVOD style tank. The basic EVOD tank is with our free starter kit. I've also purchased some of the EVOD 2 tanks, which are just dual coil, and they have the removable drip tip.
I also purchased a EVOD glass, which looks almost identical, except for the tank is actually glass, and is pretty much indestructible as far as juices. You can put any juice in there. It's also dual coil.
And mine being plastic, I haven't had any trouble with cracking, leaking, anything like that. My other favorite tank is the T3D tank, which is very similar to the EVOD and EVOD 2 and EVOD glass, except it's clear, it's a bit bigger, it holds some more liquid. It's also dual coil, removable drip tip, plastic, very nice.
And if you back up a little bit, she said CE4. Well, I actually have a CE4 here. This is the basic type of tank that you will see in any blister pack starter kit at any convenience store. These will be included with the very cheapest kits that you'll find online. They're a top coil wicked design, so basically you are fighting gravity trying to wick up the juice to the coil. Along with the leaking factor, like she already discussed, it's not even worth the time. Even though they're cheap, it's not worth the time.
I thought because they were inexpensive, I could get a lot, wouldn't have to rinse them to try a different juice, just put a different flavor in each one. Once I moved on to the EVOD style, the T3D, you get a lot better flavor, better vapor. I didn't even know what I was missing.
Right.
The juices that I had been vaping on were so much better with just a different tank. Also, the bottom coil design is great. You can vape it clear down to where there's barely any juice left, and you're fine.
And the nice thing about all these tanks is the coils are replaceable. For $2-ish, maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more, you can replace the coils. It's just a little coil that you put in
I don't know
down.
if you
There
can
you
see
go.
that.
There you go.
It's very, very small. Yeah, only a couple bucks maybe.
And they last a while. I mean, you're not replacing them every day, every other day. You're supposed to get 2 or 3 weeks out of one, and depending on the juice that you use, you could probably get longer.
They seem to last a long time. Another note is the CE4 tanks do not have a replaceable coil. When they wear out, you just have to throw them out and buy new ones. So that's not really ideal in the long run, even though the tanks are cheaper. You would spend more money, with the CE4. There's also a CE5 style, which is very similar, disposable.
Now, some of the CE5s have a replaceable coil in them, but you're still looking at the basic design where they're not going to last long. They're still going to leak for the most part. I don't see that being a good solution for anybody, especially someone starting out where you just want to use it. You don't want to mess around with it. I mean, and basically, we're here in this video to show you, okay, what should you start out with? What's good to get? What's good to stay away from? Obviously, we've come to the conclusion the CE4, CE5s, stay away from.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you're looking for a starter kit somewhere, and you get a battery that comes with a CE4 or CE5 tank, it's fine to start off with. Just don't think it's going to last very long. Don't plan to carry it in your pocket. They're okay for maybe leaving at home to try new juices. But really, they don't seem to be great for being portable. I mean, I put it in my pocket to go outside at work, and by the time I get there, I pull it out of my pocket and there's juice leaking from somewhere. So
that's not fun.
It's not fun. No.
No. So yeah, basic battery, basic tank. Stay away from the CE4s. Go with an EVOD tank. Go with even a Pro Tank Mini, T3D, T3S, BCC tank. The BCC tank is very similar to the EVOD. It's just a little smaller.
And BCC is bottom coil clearomizer.
Right. That's what these are called, clearomizers. Stay away from the CE4s. That's the best advice I could give you. Stay away from the CE4s, even if you have to pay a couple dollars more. And that's the thing. These BCCs are only a couple dollars more than the CE4, CE5s, and they're going to last you a heck of a lot longer. And you can service them.
And as far as the EVOD tanks and the T3D tanks, I highly recommend Kanger brand for those tanks. I've bought multiple tanks made by Kanger, the EVOD 2 and the T3D. They're great. I never had any problems with it. I love that you can replace the drip tip, get something a little fancier, something yellow, pink,
right,
red, black, whatever it is that you're interested in. I prefer the plastic tip as opposed to the metal one that comes with it. And it's also nice to add another splash of color if that's
personalize it. Yeah. And as far as Kanger versus non-Kanger, I have Kanger and I have a knockoff EVOD, and I have not had any problems with the knockoff EVOD. So if your tank doesn't say Kanger at the bottom, I wouldn't worry too much about it because it's probably going to be okay. But the Kanger brand is definitely one you stick with. We've had very good luck with it. Basic Ego battery or EVOD battery.
Well, and what we found with the batteries too is, the basic Ego batteries that I got initially, They're just a knockoff.
They're not Joytech.
Nothing fancy, fairly inexpensive. I have not had any problems whatsoever using them, you know, all day, every day, for weeks.
Yep. They last all day. I mean, even
yes.
yours is a 900. I have even a 650 milliamp hour that lasts me most of the day. I mean, I could come home from work. I could work, you know, 8 to 5. Come home, I still have a few hours left on it, and then it'll go dead on me. So you don't need a huge, expensive battery to last you all day. Although it's nice to have a nice, shiny, big spinner like this. But you don't need that to start out with.
So when you're starting out, we found that it's more important to get a good quality tank to get the most out of your juice. Pretty much any battery will do. Just make sure if you're a heavy vapor that you get a battery that's big enough that it will last all day.
Or two.
Or two. When one dies, you have a backup charged and ready to go. Definitely nice for those oh crap moments when your battery dies.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be my advice: is don't go overboard. Don't spend too much money worrying about the battery, but spend a little bit more to get a better tank. It'll make your first experience a lot more enjoyable. You'll get the true flavor of the juice, and we think you'll be a lot happier if you don't make the same mistake that we made.
Yeah, and if you have a few extra bucks, get another tank, because you're going to want a couple flavors, and you know you can use different flavors, but you have to wash the tank out, and there's still a little residual sometimes there. So get an extra tank or two, and you'll be good to go. Q6 you mentioned earlier, good prices.
I've purchased a lot of equipment from e-cig. Their prices are very, very reasonable. And a lot of times they have coupon codes for 25 and even 30% off. Yes. Right now I think they currently have a summer sale at 30% off. And I got a Vision Spinner 2 battery from them, and they retail for about $35, but with their discount I got it for about $21, and I couldn't be more pleased with it.
It's a big honking battery.
It is. I actually have it right here.
That's just the battery, folks. Look at that thing.
That's the battery. I love it.
1600 mile, right? Milliamp hour, 1600.
Yes, yeah. But with the extra, you know, with the variable voltage with the spinner, it actually doesn't last me as long as my, you know, knockoff.
She cranks it up.
So it's definitely nice. You know, I have 4 different batteries. It's nice for a heavy vapor. You always have something charged somewhere. So. Yep. It's definitely a good idea. e-cig.com has some starter kits that come with 2 batteries. Most of their starter kits come with the CE4 or CE5 tanks, which are okay, but I would also throw in a couple EVOD 2 tanks, the BCC tanks or T3D tanks, just to get you started, find out what your preference is, and then in the future you can reorder whatever works best for you.
Right. And they do have a kit right now that you can choose the T3D or the T3S or the EVOD 2 in the same kit. So they have a lot of options for you. Their juice selection is okay, not as good as some other manufacturers, but they have a decent selection. But their hardware prices you can't really beat. Yeah, e-cig.com. And quick shipping too.
Yes, and free shipping on orders over $35.
$35.
Which is awesome. You know, you get free, fast shipping. They have a decent selection, excellent prices. It's definitely my recommendation for anybody starting out, not looking to spend a lot of money for something that you're not sure is really going to work for you.
Right.
I would highly recommend checking out e-cig.com.
Good deal. Good deal. All right. Well, tomorrow's the day we give this puppy away. We start giving them away. If you know anybody that smokes, wants to stop, go to vapesaint.com, submit your story. We'll be picking a winner tomorrow, and I'll be doing a video to announce the winner, and hopefully we'll get the winner on to talk about it a little bit. So, you have anything else?
I think that's all.
All right. Go to vapesaint.com, Twitter, VapeSaint, Facebook, VapeSaint, and we're going to wrap this up. Take it easy.